There's a lot of things in life that just seem mundane or you gloss over. But you add in something very specific and very special, like the first time you take your son on the skiff, and it blows you away. You see him just experience it and the awe in his eyes, and it just fills your heart with joy. It's mostly indescribable.
In Christchurch, and people there are facing a surreal night. The city has been hit by a powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake. Well, buildings are all over the city. The centre are flattened. Power and...
I was there working in 2011 and staying downtown in what was the tallest building in the central business district. I was coming out of my room on the 25th of 26 stories when the earthquake hit. And it was the most violent thing you could imagine. Everything's dark. There's a ton of dust from pulverized sheetrock and concrete and whatever, and so it's very, very, very hard to see. Everyone that we ended up getting out of the building with pretty much had reserved themselves to the fact that it's the last number of moments, number of hours that any of us were going to be around. It's just a matter of time before there was another shake and took the whole building down. Some people were screaming, "We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die." And I remember just thinking, I wished I had my cell phone and that it worked and I could message my wife and tell her I loved her. We had been trying to have kids for a while and it wasn't working.
Now you do it.
Once we came out of the other end of this scenario where we sort of had a new perspective on things, we started to act upon, well, why aren't we having kids? We have a lot of love to give to a little kid, and there's a lot of little kids that don't have that given to them. And so let's make that match, let's make that happen.
I spy the sunset.
Yeah.
I spy a fish.
He's in the water.
He's in the water. You gonna find him for us?
Going into an unknown, going into the adoption process was pretty daunting. It's very expensive. They would call us, hey, we've got a baby, we think it's a good match for you, and it's gonna be $28,000. And we need that by Tuesday. And so we had to say no numerous times. And it just felt horrible.
Look, he's right there moving right to left.
It was really kind of heralded by my good friend Luke, and he sort of got everything together, organized all these people, and put together this giant fundraiser. And we raised virtually all the money we needed to get Zealand. 95% of that came from this little fly fishing community. People that I've never met all got together, and people that wanted to help, genuinely wanted to help. We couldn't have done it without that.
Look at the fish, look. Real quick, real fast. That's right. Do it, you got it. Pull him. Pull, look at the fish, look at him. Whoa, dude. Pull the rod, pull the rod, pull the rod, pull the rod. Oh, we got him. You caught a redfish. Let's get him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You did. You did.
We knew we wanted a family. I knew I wanted to experience these things, but I knew it on a broad scale and not such a finite thing. Like, I want to put him on the boat and hear him scream because we're driving fast in the boat, Papa, drive fast in the boat, Papa. I didn't know how much those little things were going to be just so poignant. I don't know that I have a good answer as to why specifically the fly fishing community stepped up to help us out and to build our family. I've thought about it a lot. I've never really been able to put a finger on it. I think maybe it's just made up of great people. Maybe that's it. Maybe people that do this are passionate and they just had a lot to give. A lot to give in that they cared about someone else that had a shared passion.
Right here. I spy a little boy.
Everything doesn't have to be curated and perfect, and life is messy, and it's a beautiful mess. Being fortunate enough to experience it is awesome. You don't feel like today's my last day very often or ever, and it conjures a lot of ideas of what am I going to do? What haven't I done? One of those big things was have kids. We absolutely wanted family. So I'm glad we got another chance.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, more time, ready? I love you, dude.